My manipulative boyfriend pulled a cheating prank on me on my birthday, so I left and went MIA for days. He somehow convinced me to stay with him but then revealed a disturbing secret about the prank. Last week was my birthday, so I got off work early. When I came home, I saw a random woman lying on my boyfriend. When he saw me, he jumped up and got in between me and the door as I turned around to leave. "It's just a prank, sweetheart," he said, and out of nowhere, 10 of his friends came downstairs with a cake and presents. I was crying as I thought I had just been cheated on, but my boyfriend told me to stop. "I know you said you didn't want to party, but don't you think this is cool?" I kept crying, however, and that's when he got more aggressive. "Oh my god, stop being so sensitive. It was just a prank. I put all this effort in so you could have a fun time, and you're crying." I immediately pushed him out of the way and walked out, got in my car, and drove off. While driving, my phone started to get bombarded by texts, calls, and messages from my boyfriend and our friends. When it got too distracting, I turned off my phone and went to a hotel that's far from my place. By the time I got to my hotel room, I started sobbing. The next morning, I made sure to tell my team leader first that I would be absent for a few days due to an emergency, and she was kind enough to accept my request. She probably noticed something was off with me because I was sniffling and my voice sounded weak. Right now, I plan on telling my aunt, who lives near my area, about what happened and asking if I could live with her for a couple of days until I sort out my mind and know what I have to do next. I'm deeply heartbroken because I've told my boyfriend and my friends before how I felt about cheating and how it essentially ruined my family growing up and my young mind back then. My mom cheated on my dad, and it broke our family. I got cheated on by my first boyfriend, and I don't know how to face and respond to them all after all that has happened. Maybe some time away from them will help. I hope. Update 1. I packed my things and prepared to go to my aunt's house, which wasn't that far but still a bit of a drive. Nonetheless, when I finally got there, she was incredibly welcoming, and I thanked her for allowing me to stay in her house, even just for a while. She gave me a tight hug and told me I was always welcome and that she would be there to help me when I needed her. She eventually led me to the spare bedroom they have in their house and helped me unpack my stuff. She is honestly such an incredible woman, and I love her so much. She's basically the mom I've always wanted. Once I was done unpacking, I was again confronted by the fact that I hadn't opened my phone for quite some time now. I'd avoided it for so long that I didn't think I could open it again, but I knew I had to. The moment my phone booted up, hundreds upon hundreds of texts, chats, and missed calls popped up on my screen. Even though I was still hesitant, I decided to open my chats and looked at our friend group's group chat first. The chats from the start were all very frantic in nature, with my friends asking about where I was or what happened. But after scrolling down a few more times, the chats turned into them apologizing that the prank happened and that it was not in the plan at all. One of my friends even blamed the girl who was on top of Alex, my boyfriend, and thought she was untrustworthy. Finally, the chats ended up being them hoping they could contact me and wishing I was safe. I guess they knew I had just read their chats because, as soon as I was done back reading, my friends immediately knew I was online and asked how I was doing and where I was. They also started apologizing again for not being able to stop the prank from happening and said they didn't know that was going to happen and thought the original prank was going to be something else. At this point, I was thoroughly confused because they seemed happy enough to be there during that night, but I knew I had to apologize to them first for ghosting them and ask their side of the story before speaking about what had happened. Essentially, they were simply planning a surprise birthday party for me with Alex in a group chat that didn't include me. Then my boyfriend added a few more people into the group chat, saying that they were college friends of his and he wanted them to be a part of the surprise party too, since they also wanted to meet and get to know me better. As a suggestion, one of my boyfriend's college friends pitched the idea of them pranking me. The plan was for my boyfriend to be on the couch with a serial killer costume holding a red knife and fake stabbing my boyfriend while the girl was on top of him. While my boyfriend was reading out, my boyfriend's college friends thought it would be funny to see my reaction. Although my friends were initially skeptical, they reassured them that it would be harmless fun and that once my boyfriend and the friend who would be acting as the serial killer got their desired reaction on camera, they could just tell me that it was all a prank, and my friends and my boyfriend's other college friends would come out and surprise me with their gifts and stuff. My friends eventually agreed, so long as they didn't drag out the prank and immediately revealed everything once they captured my reaction on camera. The day of my birthday came, and everything they planned seemed to be going smoothly with them waiting for me. My boyfriend's college friends ushered everyone to hide while they set up the prank, and when it was done, they would hide too. When they finally heard my boyfriend say they could come out, they thought the prank was a success because I looked absolutely mortified. But they knew something was up when, even after the prank was revealed, I was still looking shocked and almost teary-eyed, even until I finally turned around and left. They were understandably shaken and confused, thinking the serial killer prank was too much, but knowing me, I wouldn't have minded it at all since I love scary movies and am an avid horror enjoyer. That was then they realized that my boyfriend's female college friend was on top of my boyfriend not wearing any costume and not holding any fake red knife. They then saw my boyfriend pushing his female college friend away from him and chasing after me. Some of them also tried to follow me, while some were asking what happened to the original plan. Even my boyfriend's other college friends were wondering why their female friend wasn't in costume, but she was just silent. After a few minutes, my boyfriend came back to our apartment looking distraught and crying. He then told everyone that they should all go and proceeded to go to our bedroom. They wanted to ask him what happened, but he shut the door before they could. His female college friend then followed him inside, which really weirded them out. After a while, they heard my boyfriend shouting at her, telling her to F off. She then went out the door on the verge of tears and left the apartment. They said everything happened so fast that they didn't know how to process all that had happened. Not too long after that, though, they realized that I was missing and started calling and texting me, but I didn't respond to any of them. Eventually, I was unreachable. I turned off my phone and decided they should just go home and wait for me to respond. My boyfriend's college friends apologized profusely for what had happened and didn't mean for any of this to occur, but they basically just ignored them. They then followed their retelling of their side with videos they had recorded that proved their accounts, along with an apology and wishing that I was doing well. After my friends told me what happened from their point of view, I felt really terrible and apologized again for ghosting them, telling them that everything that happened was none of their fault. I told them that I would make it up to them soon, but they reassured me that they accepted my apology and were just happy that I was alive and well. They also pitched having a late birthday celebration with me this weekend, and my boyfriend and his friends weren't included this time. I, of course, happily agreed and thanked them for being such great friends. I really couldn't thank them enough for being such an awesome bunch of people. The morning of the next day, my aunt knocked on my door and woke me up, telling me that I had a visitor downstairs. She looked a bit mad, so I could already tell who it was. It was my boyfriend, Alex, carrying a beautiful bouquet of flowers and my favorite chocolates. Even though he looked amazing, his face was the complete opposite, as he looked like he had been crying for days. I asked him how he found out where I was, and he told me that once I turned on my phone again, an app on my phone notified him of my whereabouts. I was a bit frustrated that he actually came to my aunt's house, but nevertheless, he was already there, so I might as well just hear him out on what he had to say. He basically reiterated what my friends told me but added some more details that my friends didn't know about. Apparently, his old college friends reconnected with him after he lost touch with them after they graduated. They found his Facebook account through some searching and wanted to ask him about his life after all these years. They were especially happy when he told them that he currently had a boyfriend because they secretly knew he was bisexual but didn't want to make assumptions or make him feel weird about it. Alex eventually told them about me and mentioned that he and our friends were planning a secret birthday surprise for me. They immediately wanted to be a part of it. After they were added to the group chat, they started suggesting ideas on how to make the surprise more fun. Then, their female friend, whom we'll call Anna, suggested that they do a prank to surprise me. Alex's college friends were immediately on board because they saw TikToks of it and thought it was really funny, but my friends were obviously skeptical. Eventually, they agreed on what the prank would be and that it wouldn't take too long. Anna volunteered to be the serial killer since it was her idea, and they all went and did their parts of the surprise so that everything would be ready when my birthday came. The day of the surprise party arrived, and everyone prepared for my arrival. When Anna and Alex went into their assigned positions for the prank, Alex wondered why she still wasn't in her costume and that her props were missing. But all she could reply was that she forgot. Alex offered to find the costume and props, but Anna insisted that there was no more time and that I was going to arrive soon. Alex, at this point, was extremely uncomfortable and wanted to get out of his position, but before he could, I had already opened the door and saw them. He admitted that he messed up and called everyone to come out to save himself from the embarrassment and give context to what I was seeing. When he realized that didn't work, he got caught up in the emotions of it all, and that's why he spoke to me in such an aggressive and ill-mannered way. When I left, he said he forcefully pushed Anna away to chase after me but wasn't able to keep up. Once I got into my car, it sank in for him that he had messed up big time and remembered my trauma about cheating, which made him cry while returning to our apartment. He told everyone to leave and retreated to our bedroom, not really knowing what to do. To his shock, Anna came inside our room unannounced and started comforting Alex. He repeatedly told her to leave and that he'd be fine, but what really set him off was Anna asking him, "So does that mean you're single now?" That's when he realized she did it on purpose. Alex then shouted at her and angrily asked her to leave, which she complied with, looking like she had just embarrassed herself. Alex was in tears at this point and told me that he wished he hadn't agreed to the prank. He's cut off contact with his college friends for now and is incredibly sorry about what happened. He then started hugging me really tightly and said that he loves me so much and that he's scared of losing me. His words alone also made me cry because, even after everything, I still love him deeply and believe everything he said. After a minute or two of hugging and crying, he let go of me and said that we should go back to our apartment, but if I still needed time and space, he'd gladly give it to me. I gave him a kiss and asked him to help me pack my stuff. Of course, I gave my aunt the warmest of hugs and told her how much I appreciated her for helping me. She was happy things got resolved but also jokingly threatened my boyfriend that if he did something stupid or hurtful to me again, she'd personally whisk me away to safety and away from him. My boyfriend laughed, but I think he was just hiding his nervousness. Now I'm back in our apartment, and Alex even offered to throw away the couch that was used for the prank, but I declined since it's a pretty nice couch and everything that happened was something no one wanted, aside from Anna, probably. I've already made amends with my boyfriend, and we've both forgiven each other. My friends are happy that things worked out in the end. Update 2. A few days later, Alex came up to me while sobbing and confessed that he hadn't told me the complete truth about Anna. Apparently, he and Anna were a couple back then. She was his first girlfriend, and he did a lot of his firsts with her. Once they graduated, Anna broke things off with him because she couldn't handle long-distance relationships and didn't want to be tied down yet. Anna breaking up with him caused him to spiral into severe depression. It took a lot of work for him to get out of that hole and be a functioning adult again, but things apparently didn't completely change for the better for him until he met me. As he put it, I was the light at the end of the tunnel that he desperately wanted to get out of. But I guess ghosts from the past have their way of coming back to haunt you. A few weeks before my birthday, Alex's college friends found his Facebook and contacted him to reconnect. Things went well for them until he was added into their group chat that had Anna in it. According to him, it definitely reignited some old feelings that he had, and it didn't help that Anna was acting like nothing bad had happened between them. They agreed to meet to catch up, and one thing led to another until it ended up being them being intimate every day up until the birthday surprise. It only really hit him how much he messed up and how he was doing something incredibly crappy when he saw my devastated face after seeing Anna on top of him for the prank they supposedly planned for me. According to him, he was trying to bring back those strong feelings and emotions he once felt back when he was with Anna, but seeing me look ruined and distraught made him realize that what he had with me was incomparable to what he and Anna had. So I guess that's what led him to confess and be all remorseful. Of course, I had to hear him apologize and cry in front of me, and I cried too, but I couldn't bear being around him anymore after hearing all of that. I then calmly told him that I accepted his apology but that I didn't want to be with him anymore and that I'd be leaving the apartment to sort things out once we were both in clearer states of mind. He didn't like that one bit and started sobbing like crazy, even going as far as hugging me incredibly tight just so that I wouldn't go. It was a struggle, but I eventually got out of his clutches by pushing him away hard enough. I ran as fast as I could to get to my car and immediately headed to my aunt's house. When I got there, I sobbed into my aunt's arms and felt incredibly weak. She probably understood why I was crying so much without asking me why, so she started consoling me until I was too tired to cry and slept. Yesterday, I got a call from a friend of Alex's that he's in the hospital after being found unresponsive. I didn't want to go because I'm obviously still hurt about everything, but Alex doesn't have any family anywhere near him, and I'm the only one who knows about his medical history and details and am technically his closest family, so I had to. Right now, I'm outside his hospital room waiting for his doctors to give me an update or tell me anything or something that I should do. He also hasn't woken up yet, so I'm bracing myself for when he does. Truthfully, I do still love him very much, but what he did just made it clear to me that we're not meant to be together. I don't know what I'll do moving forward after all of this, but I'll just let the universe take the wheel for me at this point. I just wish things hadn't ended up this way.